well, panelists. My name is Dave Devanzo. I am with Mid-State Lane Electric Co-op. I am the manager of member services, and as well I sit on the Oak Ridge Chamber board. Tonight, this forum is truly a town hall type meeting. The chamber has no issues, nothing to bring up. There will be no chamber business discussed this evening. It is truly your time to hear from the candidates. In the interest of time and being interrupted, if we could please silence or mute or turn off our cell phones so that it doesn't distract somebody in their thoughts, I would appreciate that very much. I have moderated this panel for the last couple of years, and I'm happy to be here again tonight to help out. The only other thing about the chamber is I would suggest that, to my knowledge, none of the chamber members have submitted questions for this. So we truly want to be transparent and removed from the program this evening. So it's really your time to answer questions. The process that we'll undergo tonight will be we'll allow the candidates a minute or so to introduce themselves briefly. We'll just start right here. We'll move through the table. Secondly, if you didn't put a card in the bucket or jack-o'-lantern, these are your questions. I will draw them randomly, read them to the group, and we'll just go down the table round robin and let each of the candidates respond accordingly. There will be a 2-minute time limit with a 30-second warning, a 10-second reminder, and the bell will sound at 2 minutes. You may finish your thought, but go no further in the interest of time. I want to get through as many of these questions as we are able. Now, is that coming through okay to you in terms of sound? Okay, great. We will go through the end of the questions or 9 o'clock as posted, whichever comes first. We'd like to keep this right on track. So we'll begin right here. If you would introduce yourself very quickly, please.
Hi, my name is Christine Slavin. I'm a third generation Oak Ridge resident, raising the fourth here. Can everyone hear me okay? Yes. Okay, sorry. I wanted to run for city council because I think we need a more diverse council representing the people of Oak Ridge. And I think younger people need to have a role in that, and so I wanted to step forward and do that. And also, I support the necessary services that I think our town needs to remain strong, like fire and EMS, our public schools and libraries. So, thank you.
My name is Jim Coy. I've lived here since 1994. Raised my family, helping to raise some grandkids here now. Have a vision for Oak Ridge. I've always had a hope for Oak Ridge. I know it's been hit pretty hard over the years, and looking forward to the future. Having served as a former counselor back in the 90s, I look forward to the challenge that is before us today. It seems like we've bridged the gap, and it's time to move forward. So I appreciate your support, and you'll see a brighter future in Oak Ridge.
Dan Barkley, I've held at my current council seat since January of 2011. I volunteered and accepted assignment to fill a vacancy. There are people in this room that would like you to make a distinction among these 7 people. And I personally want to thank all 7 who have not engaged in the 2 things I absolutely abhor in politics, is the mudslinging. Jim Cooey and I shake hands every time we meet. Participated in the budget committee with candidates Abbott and Hadley. First time not entirely successful, last time worked out pretty well. And I've crossed paths with Mr. Biggerstaff a couple of times. Always been good, and I've made conversations with Sherry Clausen. For the sake of those who don't know, I am not, nor have I ever been, nor do I intend to be, a member of 912 for For those who didn't get the memo last year, you know, if you read last week's Dead Mountain Echo, you need to separate journalism from sensationalism. The only thing that distinguishes these candidates, in my opinion, it's not about what I intend to do, it's about what I've done the last 2 years. We can talk about progress. And when I took office, we were 3 audits behind. Needed a tax anticipation loan to bridge a reverse engineered budget. And public safety has been diminished. Not because of any action of anybody on this panel, but because the budget was not responsible. We had to get rid of 30% of all city employees in the services they provide. That's where we are undermanned and overworked.
I'm Don Hadley. Most everybody here knows me, pretty much. And I am a 912er. I'm very proud of that. I'm a conservative thinking person. But you know what I've seen in this town and what I've heard, in the 15 years I've been here, I have a business. I have 350 accounts. I got 430-something voters in the mayor position. What I don't understand is why people in this town are so divided. We got one part, that side of the tracks versus this side of the tracks. We got people that don't understand the budgets. I do understand the budgets. I'm one that brought the audit problem forward. I understood what Mr. Zimmerman was doing. You know, you guys, a lot of people really downgraded me, and I'm very sorry that you guys felt that way. I'm not against anything. I know Mr. Cooley, I know what he does. I know Les, I know everybody, just about everybody in town, different times of business. We need to make this town get transparent. We need to get along. This is really, there's certain people in this town that don't understand things. And you better understand that transparency and money-wise in this town, we're broke. We're barely skimming by. And I understand Mr. Custard, how he went out to get money for the city. That's great, went to Eddie Roberts. We need to get along. This town needs to get along, and I'd appreciate that everybody treats everybody fair. And this election, I don't like things I've seen. I don't like what I've heard. I don't like what I read. But let's try to get along, and please, you know, you guys can vote for whoever you want to, but we each are supposed to run singly. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sherry Klosterman. I'm running for City Council only because I want the truth to come out through all of the services that we provide here in the city of Oak Ridge. The truth is definitely not being told to the community. Certain things are being told only halfway. I want to run for City Council because I truly believe that being here for 60 years, I've been here since 1953. This is my home. I have always come back to Oak Ridge no matter where I've been. Seeing other places running their communities, people, yes, some are divided, some can't understand why their friends don't talk to them anymore. I have the same problem here. I know a huge amount of people, mainly seniors. But for some reason, they say, well, why did you do this? And I'm going, well, this is the reason. And then they understand where I'm coming from. Everything that is done in the community reverses right back to the City Hall because we're there for them. We're not here to buy properties and not use them on residents' income revenue coming in. So I would appreciate it. Also, I would like one more comment here. When I read the local paper, if someone puts in a comment, make it a truthful comment about whoever you're writing about. Because I don't appreciate being told that I am a member of a certain group or I'm seeing a certain person. I want you to tell the truth. I don't want you to skinny little facts that don't have any meaning whatsoever. Thank you.
I'd like to stand up, so I'm so tiny you can hardly miss me. But I too am running for city council. I think I can bring some sound management ideas and things that I have learned in my career. I came out of the Silicon Valley, a very, very competitive area, where if you stayed 2 years at a company, you were going downhill. Very aggressive place there. So I think I have some ideas that even a lone counselor can do to help the city. I am for responsible management, for fiscal solvency of the budget. So that's all I really want to say, and I think I can do that.
Hi there, I'm Les Biggerstaff. I'm running for city council. Just mostly, you know, when I first started this thing, my whole theory was I have no platform. I know nothing. I'm going to this with my eyes open, but I'm really not going into it with an agenda. And to be honest with you, that's changed since I started running. I actually see problems with the city. And you know, to be honest with you, our city's in great shape. Our town is in great shape. I actually thought when I started this thing that, you know, we were, you know, biting the bullet, we were going down and all this, but if you actually get in and look at what our city's doing right now, the city council's done a great job last year. You know, they've got us out of debt. They've actually got us back to where we're seeing daylight. My whole thing is just that I have kids and grandkids that live in this town, and I'd like them to get a job in this town. I don't want to drive them down the road like I have for the past 22 years to work. And that's pretty much where I'm at.
Thank you.
Well, I meant to tell you, I'm with Christine Slavin, and I would like to get some more younger people like myself in here too.
Thank you so much. So we'll begin at this end of the table, and the first question is, what other ways are you involved in our community aside from the city council and other committees?
So a little about my volunteer history. I have two small children. They're in school. My son is in preschool and my daughter's in kindergarten, so I volunteer in the schools here. I've also been the co-chair of the Tree Planting Festival Talent Show for the past 2 years. And my history of involvement in Oak Ridge, when I was younger, I grew up here, I served as a peer counselor at the high school. I also coached Upper Willamette Youth Sports. And I also worked with kids at the elementary school through the Start Making a Reader Today program. So those are some of the ways I'm involved in our community outside of my hopes to be a council member. Thanks.
Currently, I'm a planning commissioner. I'm on the Oak Ridge Economic Development Advisory Committee. I've been a tree planting parade judge for the last 2 years. Was on the judge and clerk selection committee. In the past, I was former chairman of the Oak Ridge Industrial Park Advisory Committee back in the mid-90s and was appointed to city council right after that.
It's going to be a short list, probably. About 3 years ago, Elizabeth bought me a really nice motorcycle, Honda 650 Shadow. In 2 years' time, I almost put 40 miles on it in my free time. Realizing I was not going to have any free time for the third year, I sold it to Ron Freeport. And I hope Terry's enjoying it and writing a sequel. On the council, I've served on the Public Safety Committee. As a committee member when Mayor Schwartz was the chair, and since he's taken the mayor's position, I serve as the chair. Some of the activities of that committee, we did receive a proposal to outsource the police department. The committee unanimously decided that we didn't have enough data, or the data was insufficient to assure any of us that we could provide the same level of safety at a reduced cost. We never got any traction with that committee or the council. And then later on, we made a tough decision to outsource dispatch, which basically freed up the resources necessary to restore Oak Ridge to a second-out ambulance situation where we had one before. So basically, we doubled the ambulance service. Painful decision to outsource dispatch, but sometimes you gotta prioritize. In my free time, I